The vast, untamed wilderness of the uncharted world stretched out before them, a tapestry of alien landscapes that both captivated and unnerved the members of the human exploration team. Led by the brilliant and driven Dr. Amara Zhao, the small but dedicated group had ventured to this remote corner of the galaxy in search of undiscovered wonders, and they were about to stumble upon a find that would rewrite the very foundations of humanity's history. As the team's advanced survey drones scanned the rugged terrain, Zhao's eyes were drawn to a peculiar formation in the distance, a series of towering angular structures that seemed to defy the natural topography of the planet. Intrigued, she ordered the drones to close in, the high-resolution imagery revealing intricate patterns and geometric designs that were unmistakably the work of an intelligent civilization. "This is extraordinary," Zhao murmured, her gaze fixed on the displays as the data streamed in. "These structures, they don't match any known architectural styles in our databases. They predate even the oldest civilizations we've encountered in the galaxy." The rest of the team gathered around Zhao, their expressions a mix of excitement and trepidation. This was uncharted territory, both literally and figuratively, a discovery that could potentially upend everything they thought they knew about the history of human and alien expansion across the cosmos. "Do you think this could be some kind of ancient relic?" one of the junior archaeologists asked, his voice tinged with awe. "Something left behind by a long-forgotten civilization?" Zhao considered the question, her brow furrowed in deep concentration. "It's certainly a possibility," she replied, her gaze never leaving the detailed scans. "But we won't know for sure until we can get a closer look. If this is truly an archaeological find of this magnitude, we need to proceed with the utmost caution." With that, Zhao issued a series of orders, dispatching teams of explorers and technicians to the site while maintaining a tight security perimeter. The last thing they needed was for news of this discovery to spread prematurely, drawing the attention of rival factions or unscrupulous opportunists. As the teams made their way to the mysterious structures, Zhao couldn't help but feel a surge of anticipation. This could be the find of a lifetime, a window into a lost chapter of human, or even alien, history. The implications of such a discovery were staggering to contemplate, and she knew that the responsibility of handling it with care rested squarely on her shoulders. "We're close," one of the lead explorers reported over the comm channel, her voice tinged with a mixture of awe and trepidation. "These structures, they're massive. And the material they're made of, it's unlike anything we've ever encountered before." Zhao gripped the edge of the console, her knuckles whitening with the intensity of her focus. "Maintain your position and continue your scans," she ordered, her mind racing with the possibilities. "I'm on my way." As Zhao prepared to join the expedition team, a sense of both excitement and unease settled over her. Whatever awaited them at the heart of these mysterious structures, she knew that it would change the course of human exploration and discovery forever. As Dr. Amara Zhao made her way to the site of the mysterious structures, her mind raced with the implications of their discovery. The team's initial scans had revealed that the towering formations were indeed the work of an advanced, long-forgotten civilization, one that predated even the oldest known cultures in the known galaxy. "This could rewrite everything we thought we knew about the history of human and alien expansion," Zhao murmured, her brow furrowed in deep concentration. "If we can uncover the secrets of these structures, it could open up new frontiers for exploration and development." When Zhao arrived at the site, she was greeted by the sight of the exploration team meticulously cataloging and analyzing the intricate details of the ancient structures. The team's lead archaeologist, Dr. Lena Vargas, approached Zhao with a mix of excitement and trepidation. "The more we examine these structures, the more we realize that they're far more advanced than anything we've ever encountered," Vargas reported, her voice tinged with awe. "The materials used in their construction are unlike anything in our databases, and the geometric patterns suggest a level of mathematical and engineering prowess that is truly staggering." Zhao nodded, her gaze sweeping over the towering formations. "And what about the scans? Have we been able to discern any clues about their purpose or the civilization that created them? Vargas gestured to a nearby holo display, where a series of detailed schematics and sensor readings were projected. Based on the energy signatures we've detected, it appears these structures may be more than just architectural wonders, she explained. There are indications of highly advanced power sources and what could be dormant systems waiting to be activated. Zhao's eyes widened as she studied the data, her mind racing with the implications. You're suggesting that these structures are not mere relics, but potentially some form of advanced technology, the remnants of a civilization that possessed capabilities far beyond our own. That's precisely what we believe, Vargas confirmed, her tone filled with a mixture of excitement and trepidation. Whatever these structures are, they're not just passive monuments. They're alive, in a sense, waiting to be reawakened. Zhao turned to the rest of the team, her gaze sweeping over their faces. Then we must proceed with the utmost caution, she said, her voice firm and resolute. We don't know what might happen if we inadvertently activate these systems. For now, our priority is to understand as much as we can about their purpose and the civilization that created them. As the team renewed their efforts, Zhao couldn't help but feel a growing sense of both anticipation and unease. The prospect of unlocking the secrets of these ancient structures was exhilarating, but the potential risks were not to be taken lightly. Whatever lay dormant within these towering formations, it was clear that it was far more than just a relic of a bygone era. We're on the cusp of a remarkable discovery, Zhao murmured, her gaze fixed on the complex patterns and designs that adorn the structures. But we must be prepared for the consequences, whatever they may be. As the days turned into weeks, Dr. Amara Zhao and her team continued their meticulous examination of the ancient structures, uncovering layer after layer of tantalizing clues about their true nature and purpose. The more they learned, the more convinced they became that these towering formations were not mere relics, but the remnants of a highly advanced, long-forgotten civilization. The team had mapped the complex network of energy conduits and power sources that ran through the structures, their scans revealing a level of engineering sophistication that left even the most seasoned members of the expedition in awe. It was clear that these were not passive monuments, but rather dormant systems, waiting to be reactivated. The power signatures we're detecting are off the charts, Vargas reported during one of the team's daily briefings. Whatever this technology was designed for, it's far beyond anything we've ever encountered in the modern galaxy. Zhao nodded, her brow furrowed in deep concentration. And have we been able to discern any clues about the civilization that created these structures? Any indication of their purpose or their ultimate fate? Vargas shook her head, her expression troubled. I'm afraid not. The material composition and the complexity of the systems defy any known patterns in our historical databases. It's as if this technology simply appeared out of nowhere, with no clear lineage or evolutionary path. Zhao's lips tightened into a thin line as she considered the implications. Then we must proceed with the utmost caution. We don't know what might happen if we inadvertently trigger the activation of these dormant systems. Little did Zhao realize that her warning would soon be put to the ultimate test. During a routine diagnostic procedure, one of the team's technicians accidentally tripped a previously undetected failsafe mechanism within the structures. In an instant, the entire complex came alive, its dormant systems surging with a burst of raw, unbridled power. Alarms blared, and the ground trembled beneath their feet as the towering formations began to shift and transform, their geometric patterns shifting and realigning in a dizzying display of technological prowess. Zhao and her team watched in a mixture of awe and sheer terror as the structures continued to morph and change, their initial assumptions about the nature of these ancient relics rapidly unraveling. My God, Vargas breathed, her eyes wide with disbelief. It's not a relic at all. It's a... But before she could finish her sentence, the transformation reached its climax, and the team found themselves staring up at the towering silhouette of a colossal, dormant warship, a remnant of a long-forgotten era of human space exploration and conquest. Zhao's heart pounded in her chest as she grasped the full implications of their discovery. This was no mere relic, but a weapon of unimaginable power, one that had been hidden away for centuries, its true nature concealed from the modern galaxy. "Secure the perimeter," Zhao barked, her voice sharp with urgency. "We need to keep this discovery under wraps, at least until we can determine the full extent of what we're dealing with." As the team scrambled to obey her orders, Zhao couldn't help but feel a sense of both awe and trepidation. The ancient warship, once thought to be a mere relic, had now awoken, and the implications of its reemergence were shaking the very foundations of their understanding of human history. As the towering silhouette of the ancient warship loomed above them, Dr. Amara Zhao and her team found themselves overwhelmed by a mixture of awe, trepidation, and a growing sense of disbelief. The discovery they had stumbled upon was unlike anything they had ever encountered, a relic of a bygone era of human exploration and conquest, reawakened from its centuries-long slumber. Zhao's mind raced as she tried to comprehend the implications of this find. The warship's sheer scale and the power that emanated from its massive frame were unlike anything in the modern human arsenal. It was as if they had found a relic from the dawn of human spacefaring, a technological marvel that had been lost to the annals of history. This shouldn't be possible," Vargas stammered, her eyes fixed on the intricate patterns and geometric designs that adorned the warship's hull. The level of engineering sophistication required to build something of this magnitude is beyond anything we're capable of today. Zhao nodded, her brow furrowed in deep concentration. "Which means that the civilization that created this warship was far more advanced than we ever could have imagined," she murmured, her gaze sweeping over the towering vessel. "And if they had the capability to build something like this, then what else might they have accomplished?" As the team continued their scans and examinations, the true extent of the warship's capabilities began to reveal itself. The vessel's power sources were unlike anything in the known galaxy, its propulsion systems and defensive countermeasures dwarfing even the most advanced military technologies of the modern era. This is beyond anything I've ever seen," one of the lead technicians reported, his voice tinged with a mixture of awe and trepidation. "The energy output of this warship's reactor alone could power an entire colony for decades, and the weapons systems, they're like nothing we've ever encountered." Zhao felt a chill run down her spine as she absorbed the implications. If this warship were to fall into the wrong hands, the consequences could be catastrophic. The balance of power in the galaxy could be shattered, with whichever faction managed to seize control of this ancient vessel becoming an unstoppable force. "We need to keep this discovery under the tightest possible security," Zhao said, her voice firm and resolute. "We can't risk word of this spreading beyond this planet. The implications are too severe. We have no idea what kind of chaos it could unleash." The team quickly set about establishing a secure perimeter, employing the most advanced cloaking and jamming technologies at their disposal to prevent any unauthorized access or detection. Zhao knew that they were sitting on a powder keg and that the slightest misstep could have devastating consequences. As she stood before the towering warship, Zhao felt a mixture of fascination and unease. This was a relic of a forgotten era, a testament to the incredible technological and engineering prowess of humanity's ancestors. But it was also a weapon of unimaginable power, one that could change the very course of galactic history. "We must proceed with the utmost caution," Zhao murmured, her gaze fixed on the ancient vessel. "The fate of the galaxy may rest on our shoulders." As news of the ancient warship's discovery and activation spread through the higher echelons of the human scientific and military communities, Dr. Amara Zhao and her team found themselves the center of a growing maelstrom of attention and scrutiny. On one hand, there were those who recognized the incredible potential that this lost relic of humanity's past represented, a technological marvel that could revolutionize everything from deep space exploration to the very foundations of interstellar warfare. The prospect of harnessing the warship's capabilities was a tantalizing one, and many powerful factions were eager to seize control of this ancient prize. But on the other hand, there were those who viewed the warship as a dangerous, unpredictable threat, a weapon of unimaginable power that could upset the delicate balance of power in the galaxy, with catastrophic consequences. The idea of unleashing such a formidable force onto the galactic stage was a terrifying prospect, and the calls for the warship to be kept under lock and key were growing increasingly urgent. Zhao found herself caught in the middle of this burgeoning conflict, her team's secure perimeter being probed and tested by a variety of rival interests, some overt, others operating in the shadows. The pressure was mounting, and she knew that a decision would have to be made, one that would shape the course of human history for generations to come. We can't just bury our heads in the sand and pretend this never happened, one of Zhao's senior advisors argued during a tense meeting. This warship represents an opportunity, a chance for us to reclaim our place at the forefront of galactic exploration and influence. We'd be fools not to at least consider harnessing its power. Zhao nodded, her brow furrowed in deep contemplation. I understand the temptation, she replied, her voice measured and thoughtful. But we have to consider the risks. If this warship were to fall into the wrong hands, the consequences could be unimaginable. We're talking about a level of destructive capability that could shatter entire civilizations. The advisor leaned forward, his eyes narrowed. And what if it's our hands that hold it? Imagine the leverage we could wield, the bargaining power we'd have in interstellar negotiations. We could shape the very destiny of the galaxy. Zhao held up a hand, silencing him. That's exactly what worries me, she said, her tone grave. The power of this warship is too great. It's a double-edged sword that could just as easily be used to subjugate as it could to liberate. We have to tread carefully and make sure we understand the full implications of our actions. As the debate raged on, Zhao found herself grappling with the weight of the decision that lay before her, the fate of the galaxy, and perhaps the very future of humanity itself, hung in the balance. Would they harness the warship's power and risk becoming the new dominant force in the cosmos? Or would they bury this ancient relic, denying themselves and the rest of the galaxy the chance to unlock its incredible potential? The answer, Zhao knew, would shape the course of history, and she needed to make sure she got it right. As the debate over the ancient warship's fate raged on, Dr. Amara Zhao and her team found themselves facing an increasingly dire situation. Various factions, both within the human scientific and military communities and beyond, had caught wind of the discovery and were now making desperate bids to seize control of the powerful relic. Zhao knew that they were sitting on a powder keg, with the delicate balance of power in the galaxy hanging in the balance. The temptation to harness the warship's incredible capabilities was undeniable, but the risks of unleashing such a formidable force onto the galactic stage were simply too great. We can't let this fall into the wrong hands, Zhao said, her voice firm and resolute as she addressed her team. The consequences could be catastrophic. We need to do whatever it takes to defend this warship and keep it out of the reach of those who would misuse its power. Her words were met with a mixture of determination and trepidation. The team knew the stakes were higher than ever, but they also recognized the immense responsibility they carried. Failure was not an option. The fate of entire civilizations could rest on their actions. As the rival factions closed in, Zhao and her team sprang into action, employing the most advanced defensive measures at their disposal. They activated the warship's formidable array of weapon systems, harnessing its incredible firepower to fend off the encroaching aggressors. In a series of intense, high-stakes battles, the human team demonstrated their mastery of the ancient vessel's technology, outmaneuvering and outfighting their opponents with a level of skill and precision that left even the most seasoned veterans in awe. They're not just defending a relic, one bewildered Imperial commander reported back to his superiors. They're wielding that warship like an extension of their own bodies, anticipating our every move and dismantling our forces with ease. Zhao, her eyes narrowed in fierce concentration, directed the intricate dance of the warship's defenses, her mind racing with calculations and tactical scenarios. She knew that a single misstep could spell disaster, but her unwavering determination and the skill of her crew kept the enemy at bay. As the dust settled, the human team emerged victorious, the ancient warship still firmly under their control. But Joe knew that this was just the first skirmish in a much larger conflict. The various factions that had been drawn to the discovery would not give up so easily, and they would have to be prepared to defend their prize at all costs. "We've bought ourselves some time," Joe said, her gaze sweeping across the faces of her exhausted but resolute crew. "But the next wave of attacks will be even more ferocious. We need to redouble our efforts to understand this warship's systems and find a way to secure it permanently." The team nodded, their eyes shining with a mixture of triumph and grim determination. They knew that the fate of the galaxy hung in the balance, and they were prepared to do whatever it took to ensure that the ancient warship remained in their hands. As the battle lines were drawn, and the various factions vied for control of the ancient warship, Dr. Amara Zhao and her team found themselves at the center of a rapidly escalating conflict that threatened to reshape the very foundations of the galactic order. Zhao's name had become synonymous with the warship's discovery, her reputation as a brilliant and resolute commander spreading through the ranks of the human military and scientific communities. From the front lines to the highest echelons of power, her exploits were spoken of with a mixture of reverence and trepidation. "Zhao is the only one who truly understands that warship," one high-ranking officer remarked during a strategy session. "If we want any hope of harnessing its power, we need her on our side." But Zhao was no mere pawn to be manipulated. She and her team were determined to unlock the secrets of the ancient vessel on their own terms, mindful of the immense responsibility they carried and the potentially catastrophic consequences of mishandling such incredible power. Through a combination of meticulous research, hands-on experimentation, and the aid of the warship's own advanced systems, Zhao and her crew began to peel back the layers of mystery that shrouded the vessel's true purpose and origins. "The more we learn, the more we realize just how advanced this technology is," one of the lead technicians reported, his eyes shining with a mixture of awe and trepidation. "The power sources, the propulsion systems, the defensive countermeasures, it's all light years beyond anything we've ever encountered." Zhao nodded, her brow furrowed in deep concentration. "And what about the warship's weapons capabilities? Have we been able to ascertain the full extent of its firepower?" The technician's expression grew grave. "Based on our preliminary analysis, the arsenal at our fingertips is staggering. We're talking about the ability to devastate entire worlds or cripple even the most formidable fleets with a single volley of fire." Zhao felt a chill run down her spine. The responsibility they carried was immense, and the potential for misuse was all too real. But she also recognized the incredible opportunity that lay before them. The chance to unlock the secrets of a bygone era and perhaps even reclaim humanity's rightful place among the stars. "Then we must proceed with the utmost caution," she said, her voice firm and resolute. "We cannot afford any missteps, not with the future of the galaxy hanging in the balance." As Zhao and her team delved deeper into the warship's inner workings, they encountered challenge after challenge, each one more daunting than the last. But their determination never wavered, and with each new discovery, they inched closer to unlocking the full potential of the ancient vessel. "This is more than just a technological marvel," Zhao murmured, her gaze fixed on the towering silhouette of the warship. "It's a relic of our past, a testament to the incredible ingenuity and ambition of our ancestors. And if we can harness its power, it could be the key to unlocking our own destiny among the stars." The stage was set for the final, decisive confrontation, a clash that would determine the course of human and galactic history for generations to come. As the various factions vying for control of the ancient warship converged on the remote planet, Dr. Amara Zhao and her team knew that the final decisive confrontation was at hand. The fate of the galaxy, and perhaps the very future of humanity itself, hung in the balance. Zhao stood on the bridge of the towering vessel, Her eyes narrowed in fierce concentration as she studied the tactical displays that mapped the approaching enemy forces. She had spent countless hours unlocking the secrets of this relic from humanity's past, and she was determined to ensure that it remained in the right hands. "They're coming," she said, her voice calm and measured. "All units, prepare for battle. Remember your training and trust in the power of this warship. We cannot afford to fail." As the enemy fleet surged forward, unleashing a barrage of devastating firepower, Javo and her crew responded with a level of coordination and precision that left their opponents reeling. The ancient warship, once thought to be a mere relic, now moved with a fluid grace that belied its immense size and power, its advanced weaponry carving a path of destruction through the enemy ranks. "How is this possible?" one bewildered commander shouted over the din of the battle. "That warship shouldn't be able to move like that, let alone outmaneuver our entire fleet." But Zhao and her team had spent countless hours mastering the intricacies of the ancient vessel, unlocking its full potential and harnessing its incredible capabilities to their advantage. They knew every inch of the warship, anticipating their opponent's moves and exploiting their weaknesses with ruthless efficiency. As the fight raged on, the human forces found themselves gaining the upper hand, their unwavering discipline and Zhao's brilliant tactical leadership turning the tide of the battle. The once formidable enemy fleet was reduced to a shattered, demoralized remnant, its commanders scrambling to retreat in the face of the humans' onslaught. In the aftermath of the clash, Zhao and her crew stood tall, their faces streaked with sweat and grime, but their eyes shining with a mixture of triumph and profound gratitude. "We couldn't have done it without you, Amara," Lieutenant Winters said, her voice thick with emotion as she embraced her commander. "You've shown us the true meaning of courage and resilience. You're not just our leader, you're our friend, our mentor, and the one who has forever changed the course of our lives." Zhao's lips curled into a faint smile, her gaze sweeping across the faces of her crew. "And you have shown me the true strength of the human spirit," she replied, her deep voice rumbling with a warmth that belied her fearsome reputation. "Together, we have forged a bond that transcends the boundaries of our species. This is but the beginning of what we can accomplish." As the news of their victory spread across the galaxy, Zhao and her human warship became a symbol of hope and inspiration, living proof that the divisions between civilizations could be overcome through unity, discipline, and an unwavering determination to shape their own destiny. The ancient vessel, once thought to be a mere relic, had now taken its rightful place among the stars, its power and influence poised to challenge the very foundations of the galactic order. And at its helm stood Zhao and her crew, ready to forge a new path for humanity and all those who sought to break free from the shackles of the past.